Hi guys, welcome to Tony's Allotment. Uh, you haven't had a video for the last few weeks because there's been a couple of reasons. I've been quite ill. I've had a bit of a fever and stuff like that. It wasn't so good last week, and every time I did manage to get up here, it absolutely poured down, and I didn't want to really get the cameras out in sort of that sort of weather. But things have moved on a little bit, and we've got a lot to do today. I'm back in work tonight, so I'm going to be up here till about 2 o'clock. It's now roughly 9:30 in the morning. As you can hear the chickens in the background and things like that going nuts, so they're obviously just laying. The other day we planted out a load of brassicas in the brassica cage that we built, which I'll take you around in a moment. The cabbage aren't doing that great at the moment. They've all flopped over and what have you, and it's basically because it got so hot over the last 2 days, and where they'd been in the polytunnel for so long, the roots had come through the bottom into the bed below, and of course that then has a knock-on effect. It's a lot of greenery for them to sustain, but they'll keep getting watered now, and they should pull back, so we'll have a look at that as well. But the first thing I want to take you through is into the polytunnel. We've in the last episode, if you remember, we planted up some tomatoes and things like that. We've now put the structure in place, and I just want to quickly run through that with you. Okay, so you should be able to make it out here. Okay, what we've done, we've run some 2x1, 2 lengths right the way across the top of the polytunnel, utilizing these beams. Okay, and they've been screwed in so they're nice and sturdy. Each beam has then had a hole drilled in it, which is big enough then for the canes to go through, and as you can see, that cane then comes right down to below where the tomatoes are. Okay, and we've done this right the way along for all of the tomatoes, and all we've got to do now is tie them in. What this does is a couple of things, guys. Last year, if you remember, we used the strings, which is twisting a string around, but we had that much weight on the strings that a lot of them snapped, and all the tomatoes ended up over the floor, if you remember. So this year we're going back to canes, but what we wanted, we didn't want to have to build a massive structure where it was going to take forever to build and forever to take down and everything else. The great thing about this, once the tomatoes are done, we can just pull them out, lift the cane up, pull it out of the ground, put it by, and the beams across the top then, all those there, can stay in place, ready for next year. And all we've got to do then is slot in the cane next year, and it's ready. And the great thing is we can pull the canes out for digging the beds over and stuff like that. We haven't got to worry about, sort of wires holding them together or anything like that. As you remember, we've planted them in a sort of zigzag pattern down the bed, which is going to allow us to get in between them. A couple of them have grown quite a lot since the last video, and they've got a second truss on them and what have you, and I need to start tying these in, so that'll be a job for later on today. But our first job today is going to be the long bed that Tina's supposed to have dug. It hasn't got done, and I need to get all of those beans there in, because they're going nuts now, and they should have been out a long time ago. Likewise with all these courgettes, pumpkins and things like that, they all need to get out. So now we're back on track. We're going to get that done, but I'm going to take it down to the brassica cage. Now this is the brassica cage just down here. Excuse this mess, it's all going to get tidied up today. All this brassica cage is, guys, is 6 posts in the ground. Okay, I'll come back so you can see. So we've got 6 scaffolding poles in the ground, and they've been knocked in about 2.5 to 3 feet, and it's quite sturdy. Then across the top, in the top of each scaffolding pole here, we've actually hammered in a piece of timber to about that long, and that's given us a base to screw this 2x1 frame across the top. And then all we've done then is put the netting over the top. We've rolled it in the corners because we didn't want to cut it, because if you cut it, you get the risk of something being able to get in. So we've rolled it in the corners here, and we've used some cable ties to hold it in place. As you can see, we've got a couple of giant cabbage out. They're not looking great at the moment. There's a lot of stuff that's flopped over. It just needs a really good watering, but the great thing is no birds can get at it, no pigeons and what have you. And then all we did then, we built a little door, netted door here, and we drilled through the door, because we don't need to lock it. We drilled through the door with this bolt so that we're able to get in and out, and it's as simple as that. But it's going to keep the butterflies out of here and everything else. We've still got some stuff in trays here that needed, that we didn't really need, so we'll hand them on to someone else. These are doing okay because they haven't been ripped out of their plugs yet. But we're going to keep watering these and see how they go. We're going to get some of the winter stuff planted over the next few weeks. So that's that really. Okay guys, so what we need to do now is set the trommel up, okay? This trommel was taken apart. Frame's gone a little bit sort of rickety, but we took it apart for the simple reason being we didn't want the frame and everything rusting, the drum and stuff rusting. Anyway, we need to get on with this bed, and the quickest way I know of doing it is to get it through the trommel. This stuff is quite fine, so but it's a lot of root in it, and I want to make sure I get out all that stingy root, okay? So we're going to set the trommel up. I've got it up on a couple of bricks. I've dug a section back, so we've got a big lump behind us, and it's just a case now of trying to get this drum back in. And it's not an easy process without taking it apart, by all means, but we'll get it sorted. So all we have to do is feed it through. Just keep working it back and forth until we've got it where we want it. Okay. Might have been easier coming from the other side. I think the easiest way is to get a drill and sort that out. Bear with me a minute. Oh, you've got to be joking me. What I'm going to do is just take this block off for now, if I can get to it. Can't get to that screw, guys, so we'll struggle on a minute. Not going well. Okay, let's go this way. Let's move that out the way a minute. I know one of the ways is much easier than the other, guys. finally get it where I need it. Well, it took a little while, guys, but it's in now. All I gotta do now is put this screw back in. I might get a longer one, actually. Oh, damn. One thing I forgot was this, and that needs to go in. So I don't quite know how I'm going to do it. I have to pull him back off. Okay. There we are, got him. Right. Okay. So this is the first setup of this year. And as you can see, it's been a bit of a potch, but that's what we've had to do. I just need to put that new screw in there now, wherever I've put it, and we're away. There we are. Okay, so the next thing now is the motor. There's a fair old weight on this motor, guys. And again, this has just been stored over the winter. We now just need to pull this back until it drops in them holes. Now the hardest part of this is getting it lined up so that it doesn't pull the drum off, or the cable off the drum. And then all we need to do is line up this in the drum in that wheel itself. And turn. Now this is just showing me now that this is too far forward, so I need to pull him back a touch. Maybe a bit too far there, right? And now I need to just lift it. So for that I need a little block or something, a little bit of timber, just to lift it up and tighten the actual tighten the belt. That's fine. Same on this side. Lift it up. We'll chuck a couple of locks on the back just to hold it down, and then we're set to go. Okay guys, so as you can see now, there is a bit of a slope here, okay, and that's just going to help with it coming out. If I find it's not enough, I'll just lift it a touch more. Okay, we'll put the wheelbarrow right under it, which will catch all the rubbish, and we're good to go. So all I need to do now is get the power in. You're not going to hear a lot with the generator, so I'm hoping this will cut out a lot of it. Okay, so what we need to do now is just give it a test now to make sure the actual thing is all lined up, because I wanted to be able to dismantle this. You've got to line it up each time. That looks quite good, so we'll leave that for the moment. And now it's a case of shoveling it in, guys. Now, like anything else, don't overload it, but and what will happen, the weeds should go through. What I'm finding here is not quite enough of a slope, and my generator's having a bit of a struggle. So what we're going to do, we're going to just lift it a touch more. There we are. Okay, so I know it's a bit of a potch, so this might be too high now. Okay, and I know this is a bit of a potch, but it will make doing this bed a lot faster. Because now I can just shovel it in. I ain't got to worry about what's there. Just shovel it in. And anything we don't want in here will just fall through. and it'll just make this job a little easier. Tina should have done it, but it hasn't happened. So this will just make sure that everything is out of it. It's been a while since I've used the Trommel, but it's doing well. I will certainly speed this job up, considering, considerably, like. All I gotta do from time to time is just pull this stuff through. Have a look at that, guys. Really nice soil, no weeds, and just keep shoveling it through. The belt could be doing with a bit of tightening, but for today this will do. It's not going to be perfect. So there you have it, guys. That's the bed done with the Trommel. Just got all this mess here now to clean up. We'll take a top off this now and we'll put some bark chip down around it. Could do a topping up, but we'll do that this year now later on. I just need to get my beans in now. But it's very fine, as you can see. So it should be nice for them. And hopefully we can get going. We've got loads of weeding, as you can see down there. I'll see if I can zoom you in and just give you some sort of idea what's happened with the rain over the last few weeks. All them weeds there, guys. So gotta get a hoe on it now today before we go, and then we're sorted. But that's this bed weeded finally. Another job ticked off. Right, guys, earlier on I emptied a barrel of spuds because the wind has just given these such a hammering, and they're still growing, but I thought I'd empty one and have a look, and this is what we had out of it. So I'm going to put that to the side. I don't know, there's probably about £2 in there, and we're going to do one on camera for you just so you can see what's going on. Just going to pull these hones off. Now these have been in for about 13-14 weeks maybe. I don't know, I'll have to double check, and I'll put a annotation up to show you what they've been in for. But they're a bit dry today. But we've got spuds here. I'm going to stick them on the corner there as we find them. It's all looking good. Now like I said, these are perfect sizes. Ideally you want them about a golf ball size, so these are perfect. Be great on a dinner for new spuds. There's the seed potato there. So, and that's still solid, so that's, you know, goes to show that they've probably still got a fair bit more growing in them yet. This one's not looking as good as the other one, but we'll see what we get out of it. There's a few coming out. And the reason I'm pulling some of these now is we want them for dinner, but also the we've had some really bad storms up here last couple of weeks, and it's really done a number on them. So, but all in all, considering, you know, I'm quite happy with the crop we're getting out of them. Really, you know, for a bucket of 2 little seed potatoes, they're coming out nice and clean as well. There's another seed, the other seed there, look, just fell off. And what I'm going to do with this compost, earlier on I showed you in the video, I need to get out my courgettes and pumpkins and stuff. This is going, because it's still going to have loads of nutrition in it, so this is going to go in the planting holes, because I haven't been able to get the manure I wanted and get that bed sorted over on the other side by the chickens. So what we're going to do, we're going to leave them fend for themselves, but they're going to go into this is going to go into the planting hole. So I'm going to just chuck this back in the buckets, and we'll reuse this compost just to give them a good head start. Again, probably another £1.5, £2 out of that, I should imagine. I haven't got the scales with me today, so I can't tell you exactly. There we are. So let's just spread that over there. I'd say easy a couple of pound out of them, maybe more. I'm quite pleased with that, to be honest with you guys. Off 2 seed potatoes. There's 2 little buckets there. You know, it's enough for a couple of meals for me, the missus and the kids. And they'll be coming home with me. And they're perfect size for, you know, for a meal. Yeah, there you go guys, 2 buckets. You can't really go wrong for that. And again, you know, they're perfect sizes. A couple of them are a little bit bigger, but you can slice them in half, and the others are just absolute perfect. A nice little brush off with some water, and that's really all they need, because the skins are so soft on them. Anyway, that's the early potatoes. Oh, the variety of these guys is called Charlotte. So I think that's pretty much going to be it in this episode, guys. It's a short one, but I just want to let you know what we've been doing while we've not been online, and you know, and where the weather's been bad, and hopefully this sun that we're having today and yesterday is, you know, going to be it's going to be a sign of things to come. So anyway, that leaves me just to say I hope you enjoyed the episode. I want to thank everybody who's subscribed recently, because we're picking up loads of new subscribers. Keep them coming. Tell your friends. The channel's growing every day, which is a great thing. So, you know, thank you for subscribing, and please keep viewing. If you've got any suggestions or anything like that, put them in the comments box below, and I'll be more than happy to oblige and make a video for that. One thing I want to say before I do go, I have made a decision on the bees. They're not going up there next to the water barrel. They're actually going over there in the wildlife section. Now that wildlife section will be cut down, and we're going to have a couple of videos of making up our first hive. We're going to have a couple of hives there, but our first one, because I want to get the bees on here relatively soon, the first hive is going to be like a flat pack hive. It's a national, and we're going to do a couple of videos on the build series for that, and then the next hive we may look at building one from scratch, just from some timber, but we want 2 over there, and I think by putting them over there it'll be a lot better. They'll be a bit more shielded from the cold, whereas here it's quite open, so in the winter they're going to get slammed with the cold. So I just wanted to make sure that wasn't the case. Anyway guys, hope you have a great day. I will see you in the next episode. Bye.